What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and we did something a little different there with the intro, guys. I switched it up, and I'll let you know why in just a moment. But right now, guys, let me just pause for a moment and, allow some of you guys to get up in here. There's some people that I send the link to personally, so let me do that really, really quick, and then we'll get it started, guys. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? What are your thoughts after hearing some more information come out about the Ben Roethlisberger injury situation and the Tomlin decisions, things like that? We're going to dive into that. And also, guys, we're going to look at some all-22 footage. Give me a second. You're seeing me look down at my phone. I'm just trying to get the link out, to my father-in-law, Leonard, my brother, Tony, my cousin, Floyd. I always send those guys the link directly. So that's what I'm doing right now. So give me a hot second and we'll do a roll call and then we'll dive right into this thing, man. Gonna have some fun tonight. At least I hope we have some fun tonight. Hopefully, guys, if you like what you see, you're gonna do your thing. You're gonna hit that like button for me. Hopefully you guys do that. Spread the word, share the stream, subscribe, cut on your notifications, all that good stuff. All right, so let's do a roll call really, really quick. Got my brother Tony in the building. Lydell Dorsey, more AGWS, Crazy Dean, Tyrese Mann, Deron Smith. What's up, Deron? I ain't seen you in a while. Yeah, I definitely will bring you on tonight, man. Definitely would bring you on tonight. And you guys, again, I think you guys have done a good job with it lately. The phone calls, we're doing 2 to 3 minutes at the max. But I definitely will get you on, Deron, later on in the show. As you see me wiping my shoulder here, got a little lint on my shirt there. And as you can see, I got the coach hat on, guys, with the bent brim. I normally don't like the bent brim, but you know how coaches be having their hat, so I figured I'll wear that hat tonight. Back to the roll call. What up to my boy Antoine Myers, man? That's my guy right there. He's followed me for a long time, man. We kind of connected through the gaming thing. He's a Cowboy fan. I'm going to give him a round of applause for him and his Cowboys. And I switched up the round of applause, guys, so let me know if y'all actually heard that. I'm actually triggering it a little different to make sure it always works. So y'all let me know if you heard that. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to Antoine and his Cowboys. Hey, I wish we had that Cowboy defense, Twan. I sure do. I wish we had that Cowboy defense. You guys are looking great out there. Continuing with the roll call, we got another Therese in here. Therese Harris, my boy Kenyon in the building. OBI Juan and Tim, Lydell Naismith, and Maurice Ware. That's all we're going to call out right now. Welcome. Appreciate you guys coming through. So, all right, where do you guys want to start, man? I got some information I want to share with you guys. I read an article today, and I want to give a shout out to the Twitter follower who actually sent me the link as well. I had already seen it, but I want to give him credit. I'm going to say his name really, really quick. Shout outs to @DraftClassCon. And his surname on Twitter is DCC, but it's @DraftClassCon. Shout outs to him because he shared the link with me as well. And we're going to talk about that, man. We're going to take a look at Kevin Colbert. We got to give Kevin Colbert some of this blame as well, and how the team has drafted over the last several years and under, pretty much the Tomlin tenure. So we're going to look at that. We'll talk a little bit about, again, the Tomlin situation and the Roethlisberger situation, how they handle things, getting Roethlisberger back in now that we got more information. And then we definitely going to look at some all-22. There's some pain points that I had from that last game, and I did it the professional way this week, guys. I actually wrote down the timestamps and the plays, down the distance, so I should be able to find them much faster. You guys don't have to watch me fumble around with that. So here's where I want to start. Really quick. Let's talk about Roethlisberger's injury. So we're learning that the injury was a little more serious, and here's the reason why. According to what Roethlisberger is saying and according to what Mike Tomlin is saying, and it's important that I say that, guys, and here's the reason why. I was curious to know if when I listened to Roethlisberger's, conference that he does every Tuesday, on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh, he does his weekly show on that channel. I was interested to see if there was going to be any throwing under the bus, if there was going to be any passive aggressive Ben Roethlisberger. Y'all know what he normally does. He'll say something where he's kind of throwing a guy under the bus, and then he comes back and acts as if, well, but we're all together and we talked and blah blah blah. So I wanted to see if it was going to be that Ben Roethlisberger. Interestingly enough, it wasn't. Roethlisberger basically explained to us what happened, and then Tomlin followed up in his press conference at 12 noon. Basically, Big Ben said, look, we didn't really know the severity of the injury. I went in, and he was basically alluding to the fact that, the system is a little bit old as far as, being able to get the x-rays, and, not necessarily that they couldn't get the x-ray, but they were unable to read it properly, him and the doctors or whoever else takes care of that. So they were very cautious. They didn't really want to, take a chance with throwing Ben back out there unless it was, extreme emergency. Now, before I go further, where I will definitely, I have to fault Tomlin a little bit in this instance, because, I understand that you don't want to play show your hand all at once and tell the media everything. So sometimes the answers that you give might not be the whole truth, nothing but the truth. It may be a little bit of bending the rules, or not bending the rules, but bending the truth, excuse me. Or it could be something that, you just give a reaction really quick and you don't really have all of your words formulated or what have you. So the mistake that he made was saying that they didn't put Ben back in because of the ebb and flow of the game or the rhythm of the game, which there wasn't any rhythm. So I got to fault him for saying that. But I think today, both himself and Roethlisberger was very consistent. Here's the catch. They said Kevin Colbert, okay? Both Roethlisberger and Tomlin. Roethlisberger definitely said it, but Tomlin said that Colbert was a part of it. But Roethlisberger was really more detailed when he said, Kevin Colbert was even in on the decision. They didn't want to put him back out there and potentially lose him for the season, being that the Steelers are still in, ahead of the North or what have you, which is slight and it's barely ahead, but they didn't want to risk it. Now, here's the thing. None of us will really know the situation. I mean, maybe they all felt like they handled it wrong and they all got together and said, this is how we're going to answer today on Tuesday. I don't know. However, if they didn't know what his injury really was and they thought that Ben could possibly have had, a broken rib or what have you, because they kind of, linked it to the situation when we played Cincinnati in the playoffs in 2015, they said that you never know. If you got a broken rib and, you got that rigid edge right there, could puncture a lung. Okay, if that was really it, cool. And if you really thought that you were only going to use Roethlisberger in an extreme emergency situation, great. Now, could he have gone in a little earlier? I think so. Do I think the emergency should have been before the touchdown by the Raiders? Yes, we can all argue that. But the decision behind it, based off of the explanation from the coach and the quarterback, I got to take my feelings out of it and say, okay, I understand if that's really how you were trying to manage it. It is what it is, okay? And we can't forget the fact that Roethlisberger did go down there and score a touchdown, and the defense had the opportunity to close it out with 2 minutes and 59 seconds left, and we're going to look at some of that on the All-22. Now, let's get back to what I said about Kevin Colbert. See, we don't always know these things in the beginning, and I know Kenyon was alluding to this last, Sunday when he came on, saying that there's a lot of things that go on in that organization that some of us may not remember, or some of us choose not to know, or some of us may not just be in the know. Guys like myself, and I'm sure Kenyon does it, and Tony does it, that Debbie does it, I'm sure, because just based off of her, comments, we really pay attention to the Steelers. We read articles. We read, different postings from different Steeler pundits, in media outlets, and, guys who are in Pittsburgh that reports on the team, and, looking for articles when people are let go, and, just trying to find all of these little breadcrumbs so we can learn as much as possible about our team. Shout outs to SteelersDepot.com, Dave Bryan over there, and Alex Kazur, Mark Marksey. I might be saying his name backwards, but these guys do a great job documenting things about the Steelers, and I look everywhere to get information, okay? And it's interesting when you find these little nuggets. Sometimes, result bias gets in the way of how we really feel, okay? So let's talk about Kevin Colbert for a minute. Let's get to that point, because I feel like I'm going on a rant here, and I don't want to get too far away from the point. I want to read something to you guys really quick, man, before we get all the way live and we look at the All 22. Here's an article. And again, let's give a shout out to the guy who sent it to me, though I did see it already, but he still sent it to me, so I want to give him shout out. You know, on Twitter, his name is Draft Class Con. If you're watching the show tonight, let us know who you are in the chat so everybody can give you your proper just due for bringing that to my attention. We have to look at Kevin Colbert as well when we're talking about why the Steelers haven't been successful defensively, particularly the defensive back area. Okay, we got to give blame to Mike Tomlin because, of course, Mike Tomlin comes from a defensive background. He was a D coordinator, or at least a DB coach, you know, in the league. I know at Tampa, you know, he comes from that pedigree of the Tony Dungy's of the world. So he knows defense, okay? You know, and his specialty is the cover two, you know, in the Tampa two. That's really, you know, where he made his bread and butter, right? As a young guy. We understand that. Keith Butler, whether we like him or hate him, he's a defensive coordinator. He's employing basically the same system that Dick LeBeau ran, you know, just like Kenyon told us on Sunday. And he's mixing a little more man coverage here and there, you know, a few more different things in terms of blitzing. But for the most part, it's the same baby, you know. It's just dressed up a little bit, right? But we always have to ask ourselves, is it fully coaching or is it player capability, right? I think it's a combination of both, because even if we don't have the best players, I still think there are too many times where we've seen Keith Butler not try something different. Even if your players aren't great, just try something. And we don't see him make too many adjustments. He pretty much stays in what he's doing, and it's either going to work or not work. And that's not always the best approach. But we have to get to the other part of it, the drafting, okay? The free agency, okay? And, of course, the Rooneys have the say, you know. Art and those guys have the real say. But Kevin Colbert is in that job. And you would think as a GM, he has the latitude to be able to go after this guy, go after that guy. Of course, you're going to have a money discussion, but that's what the GM is there for. He's there to make sure, he said it to us multiple times when he's interviewed, okay? He's there to make sure he does the best for the organization on and off the field. The managing of the money and managing the roster with the best talent that you can get. Now, here comes the evaluation process. Year scouts, okay? Because it's not all Tomlin. Remember this, guys. Tomlin has said as much as well. He'll go take a look at a guy. He'll go to pro days and all that, him and Kevin Colbert. But ultimately, Kevin Colbert, that's his job along with the scouts. So let's get to the article. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. And I'm actually going to bring it up here. Give me a second. I'm going to bring it up here in the stream as well, so you guys can semi-follow along. I don't know if you'll be able to read it good here. So I'm going to give a shout out to the website that it's on. It's thedraftnetwork.com. And let me scroll down to the article and give the name. John Ledyard, Chief Operating Officer and Senior NFL Draft Analyst for the Draft Network. Okay, co-host of the Locked on NFL Draft podcast and passion for all things Pittsburgh. All right, so John Ledyard, you guys may or may not be familiar with him. I am definitely very familiar with that guy. Let's read a little bit of what he had to say. And what I'll do, man, and somebody remind me before this is over, I will post a link to this full article so you guys can read for yourself. But I'm going to start really, really quick here with the beginning, okay? It says, the Pittsburgh Steelers have a lot of issues, most of which have come to light over the past 3 games, all losses. Mike Tomlin can't manage the clock. We all agree on that. He does a pretty bad job with managing the clock, okay? So he says, Mike Tomlin can't manage the clock and doesn't take bad teams seriously. Ben Roethlisberger has made costly mistakes all season, and the Steelers' linebacker play is at an all-time low. I think those are things we all can agree with. We haven't been that great managing the clock. Roethlisberger has made some great mistakes, as well as that linebacker play hasn't been great, okay? All right, so I'm on board right there. Now, he says here, but despite all of these undeniable truths, the Steelers win at least 2 and maybe all 3 of the last few games if they had done one thing better. acquire and develop defensive back talent, whether in the draft or free agency. All right, now he's going to say, I'll read this other little piece and then I'm going to skip down some. The irony of the head coach Mike Tomlin's history as a defensive back coach is not lost on me. That's what he says. You know, he's not negating that point. But although you can certainly make the case that Kevin Colbert has consistently given him poor players to work with. Since Tomlin arrived in Pittsburgh, the Steelers have drafted 20 defensive backs, the best of which by far, and of course this is Ledyard's opinion, but he says the best by far has been William Gay, an average starter in his best years. Gay's best season was a 3-pick campaign in 2014, which would feel like a Hall of Fame level season for the Steelers defensive backs at this point. That is very interesting. Now I'm going to pick out a few things here. It says that the interceptions, coincidentally, the last time the Steelers finished with more than 3 interceptions in the season, the team coincidentally was in the Super Bowl, losing to the Green Bay Packers to finish the 2010 season. Said Troy Polamalu had 7 picks, and he basically jokes and says, is that even allowed on this particular defense? Now, there's a couple other things I want to point out. He says, how did they get here? As he's hinted before, it begins in the draft, where Colbert has tried every strategy on earth except drafting good players to get this thing right, but to no avail. At first, he tried ignoring the position and relying on free agency and adequate starters to get by. From 2007 to 2014, Colbert spent exactly 0 first or second round picks on a defensive back and just 2 third-rounders on the position group. The 11 players that he drafted during that time were 2007, William Gay, 5th round. 2008, Ryan Mundy, 7th round. 2009, Keenan Lewis, round 3. Joe Burnett, I don't even remember Joe Burnett, round 7. Now, Keenan Lewis worked out for us here and there, but, you know, we didn't keep him, and he wasn't the greatest, but, he did some things for us, and we didn't keep him. This other guy, Krisden Butler, I remember that one, round 5. In 2011, Curtis Brown, round 3. Cortez Allen, round 4. Cortez Allen had 1 good season with the Steelers, and then he can't get right after that. Had a great season in the slot. We put him on the outside. Can't get right. Okay? Terrence Frederick, round 7. Shamarko Thomas, round 4 in 2013. Terry Hawthorne, round 5 in 2013. 2014, Shaq Richardson, round 5. Okay, so then he goes on to talk about more and more talent here. And then I'll read this next paragraph. He says, in 2015, Colbert clearly shifted gears appropriately, reacting to the fast-changing tides of the NFL passing attacks that were taking his defense apart. He took 3 defensive backs that year, 2 in the first 60 picks the next year, and 2 of the years after that. All of them currently suck. That's what Ledyard is saying. Now let's read who they are. Senquez Ghost in round number 2. May have turned out to be a Mike Hilton guy, but he just didn't stay healthy. Okay. Doran Grant, remember him from Ohio State? Round 3. Gerard Holloman, round 7. Remember the guy that had all those bananas numbers when it comes to interceptions? He was a safety. Okay, that was 2015. 2016, your boy Artie Burns. Artie Get Burns. Round 1. Okay, and we all know that William Jackson III was probably the pick, but we were left with the worst of the litter, so to speak. And then Sean Davis, round number 2, that's 2016. 2017, Cam Sutton, round 3. Brian Allen, round 5. 2018, Terrell Edmonds, round 1. Marcus Allen, round 5. Okay, so what else does he say here? I'm going to read this, and this is very important. Listen to this paragraph. Cameron Sutton has been terrible when he's out there, and now he can't get on the field over Morgan Burnett, who has been laughably bad. He might be behind Burns on the depth chart, unfathomable as that may seem. Terrell Edmonds has been average at best, mostly bad, continuing the tradition of Steelers defensive backs who cannot find or make a play on the ball. To make matters worse, Edmonds is Pro Football Focus's 70th ranked safety, while Justin Reed and Jesse Bates, y'all remember him? I'm going to keep saying his name. I'm going to say it 2 more times. Jesse Bates, Remember how much I wanted Jessie Bates just because he was a rangy free safety, playmaker, ball skills, and also, yeah, my wife's cousin is his agent, so there was a little bit of bias there, but that kid is a baller. And he says again, while Justin Reed and Jessie Bates, chosen well after Edmonds, despite being clearly better, is currently 11th and 12th in the middle of their outstanding rookie seasons. Okay, so in closing, I'm gonna read the very last paragraph. It's the clear evidence of a complete and utter failure by Colbert to find impactful defensive backs and Tomlin and his staff to develop the position when they do have something that works. And in today's NFL, when stopping opposing passing attacks and creating turnovers, the two keys to defensive success, Pittsburgh has failed in an incredible fashion, grabbing just 6 interceptions, tied for the second lowest mark in the league. As a result, the team's playoffs are slipping away fast, and so is their window to win a Super Bowl. Next up on the docket, Tom Brady and Drew Brees in back-to-back weeks. And he says, have fun, fellas. Let's give him a round of applause for an outstanding article there. And again, guys, please confirm to me that you're hearing a round of applause. Wow. Now, let me see what some of you guys are saying in the chat really quick. All right, and I'll come back to it. So, what do you guys feel about what I read there, man? What are your feelings and what are your thoughts on that article? I think there is some truth to that, okay? Listen, we all get on the coaching staff, okay? Coach Tomlin doesn't always make the best decisions. I don't like his time management. I didn't like not taking the time out in that game when it was 1 minute and 6 seconds left on the clock, 2nd and goal for the Raiders. You had 2 timeouts at that point. In my opinion, you take the timeouts there in case the Raiders score. At least that way, you give yourself an opportunity to, you know, get down the field instead of having to rely on the hook and ladder. You know what I'm saying? Or hook and ladder or whatever you want to call it. That's just my opinion, okay? Let me answer. Oh, Tony, you probably can hear me. I'll call you when I bring you on, so you don't have to call me directly. I'll call you when I get you on. And yeah, Tony's going to come on tonight, guys. But here's the thing. We can't deny that we are not the most talented team. We can't. Can't deny that. We're not the most talented team on the back end. And if the talent isn't there, how well can the coaches coach? Number one, if anybody wants to give the coaches a pass. And number two, who do you blame for that? You got to start with the GM and the scouting department. And those names that I read on that list, I don't think it's that hard to believe that, yeah, the talent isn't there, folks. It's not there. I'm just saying. Yet, you know, we've somehow been able to be in the mix almost every year. You know, yes, Tomlin has had 2 8-8s, but every other season has been playoff bound. You know, with a very patched together type secondary. And they continue to get exposed and get exposed and get exposed. Now, again, I'm not going to let Tomlin or Butler completely off the hook, because even with the heap of guys that you have, you got to try to create better matchups, which we don't always see Butler do. I will give him a small amount of credit, and I'm about to show the all-22. He did make a few adjustments in the game where he tried to get different guys matched up on Jared Cook. I saw Burnett on him. I saw L.J. Fort on him. I saw Hilton had a play when he tried to cover him. You know, they tried multiple guys. It just didn't work. There was a time when Bostic tried to cover him, and why that ever happens, who knows? Nobody knows. Okay? So, let's get into the all-22, man, and take a look and see what we got here. Let me bring it up, guys. Give me just a second. And like I said, man, y'all will be proud of me. I did it a little more professional tonight, man. I actually have I have my placeholders, and I know where I need to be and where I need to go. So let's bring up the all-22 footage. There we have it. So the first play we're going to look at, guys, is 2nd and 1 on the Oakland 35. 14 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter. So very early. Now let's take a look at this play, and then we'll break it down a little bit. Now look at this. I want you to pay attention to this right here. And this is something I'm gonna ask Kenyon, because I know Kenyon knows football, and some of you other guys that are, you know, very well versed in football. Pay attention to what happens right here. Let's slow it up. So Jordy Nelson is going to go to the left side of the formation as far as offensively, and Joe Hayden is going to follow him. Now watch what happens here. Okay? Joe Hayden is communicating to these guys and say, hey, Jared Cook is split out. So that's going to cause L.J. Fort to get on him. Now, question before we run the play. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Again, I could be dead wrong. I don't coach in the NFL. But what I think I may have wanted the players to do here is diagnose your matchups. Now, we got Joe Hayden inside right here. Look at what's happening here. You have a guy who primarily plays on the outside, stuck on the inside, and you got your inside guy playing Jordy Nelson right here, you know, in basically a trip set. Okay, you got a 4-receiver side here with the running back being on the left side of the quarterback. So here's your 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to go into a man situation here. But it's my belief that I feel like, matter of fact, let me let y'all watch the play, and then I'll explain to you why I believe this is what I would have preferred to happen. Because clearly, they've already talked about what they would do in these type of situations. Let me speed it up a little bit here. And look at this. Look, wait, this is important too. Look at Derek Carr. Derek Carr clearly recognizes it. Like, oh, okay. I see what they're doing. And I see who's on who. All right, let's fast forward it. Bam. Let's let it play right here. Okay, this is man coverage. Looks like cover 1 to me. The reason why I believe that it is cover 1 is you're going to see Terrell Edmonds drop down and play like a robber, right? And he's looking for crossers and drag routes, etc., etc. Man over here, man all the way over here, man over here. Safety play in the middle. Sean Davis is going to rotate to the middle, thus ends up in a cover 1. Now, what I notice is interesting here. These two guys are going to switch off. Watch Hilton. Hilton is going to follow his man inside, but then he actually takes this guy who becomes pretty much the vertical because of his depth, and Joe Hayden is going to switch off to him, which is something I said I would like to see us do this more in goal line situations when you're getting pick and rub routes. That's how good defenses play it, so it doesn't create that route. Guys just switch off. And we did this quite often in this game, man, and it's only like a 2-man game there where the nickel and the outside guy switched. Interesting. So look at what happens. Check it out. Now, to give L.J. Fort some credit, it's not bad coverage. I'll be darned. It's not bad coverage. Look. This is covered in the NFL, folks. And, you know, he's open because Derek Carr makes one heck of a pass to the outstretched arms of Cook. Tall guy, a guy that can run like a receiver, matched up against a shorter linebacker. That's a bad matchup. But to L.J. Fort's credit, and I'll show it to you in fast speed just so y'all can see, L.J. Fort did a good job. I don't know if I like him getting in his face like that. You know, like you going to press him as a linebacker. And that, keep in mind that I said that too, because I'm going to show you some more plays. Okay? Now, let's look at it from this angle. So here's the reason why I said what I probably would have done is I would have had these guys switch. This would be my philosophy. If you see a formation like this, get the linebacker in as little of a compromising position as possible. Let him play the inside guy. Let my number 1 corner, or in this case, yeah, he is our number 1 corner. Let him stay on Jared Cook. And let the linebacker play in here only because you got help. In this particular coverage, you got Edmonds coming down to help you, okay? So even if L.J. Fort, let me see, right here. Let's say L.J. Fort gets beat. You got Edmonds right here to help with that. I'd rather take a chance with inside instead of outside the numbers with a linebacker on a Jared Cook tight end. You know, that ain't a slow guy. You understand what I'm saying? That's just me. Again, I am not a coach. I don't know. I sit here and I critique. I don't do it in real time. So listen, I can't say I'm right or wrong. Just giving you my idea. But I'm just showing you how matchups sometimes makes it worse. And boom. Great throw. Look at that. Really nothing LJ Fort could do. Sean Davis obviously can't get over there fast enough because he's right here at the snap of the ball. No way he's going to get over there. Derek Carr throws it outside the numbers. But what I would love to see Sean Davis do, I mean, can you jar that ball loose at least? No, you can't. You go tumbling off to the outside. You know, you go tumbling to the Raiders bench. All right, so let's go to the next play. 3rd and 13 from the Pittsburgh 41. 9 minutes and 24 seconds left here in the first quarter. And let's see what this play is about. 9:24. Here it is. Just my thoughts, guys. Just my thoughts. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. Reason why I wanted to show this play. This was a dangerous throw by Roethlisberger. Juju had to go up high to get this. The reason why I want to point this out, if this is an overthrow, it's an interception. You see this? Now, granted, Ben throws it, you know, at the right time where these guys are not around him, and he puts it up high. So I'm not mad at that. But I'm just here to show you how things happen in the NFL sometimes. This could have been very bad. Let's look at it from this view. Look at this. Look where Juju is at. He got to go up for that ball. He's got to go up for it. If he don't catch that, that's an interception, and it's going the other way. Whew. All right, next up. 1st and 15 from the Oakland. I don't have the down, but I have the time. 5 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first. Here we are. The one bright spot of the defense. And the defense was playing relatively well early in this game. You know, we did have a bad opening drive, but this defense just can't seem to put it together when it matters. Let's keep watching. Look at this coverage. Look at the coverage. Look at this. Let's put this in slow-mo. Look at what happens here. We get caught again with Bostic out there. They got to spread out in our base defense, people. Look at this. I want you to see it from the beginning. Bostic, Williams, Dupree over here, TJ Watt, Joe Hayden, SimFBall, Davis, and Edmonds. Here they are. They caught us in a base defense. Your boy spreaded them out. You got Cook up here. And this is a bad situation. These are not good matchups. Watch what happens. TJ Watt is going to have to drop back. But we covered it well. This is the crazy thing. Watch how well we covered this. We're going to end up with only 3 guys rushing the passer. And let me just stop and say, this is a bad situation. When you got that many receivers out there and your base defense and only 3 guys are blitzing or rushing the passer, you got, listen, look at what happens, man. We got Bud Dupree in coverage, TJ Watt in coverage. Yeah, yikes. But look at the coverage. Beautiful. Everybody where they need to be. Look at Bostic. Bostic all over this in his zone. You got Williams with good depth. And who's that right there? You got Terrell Edmonds is going to meet him. TJ Watt passes him off. So we're running zone right here. And that's probably a bad situation right here, though. Because, look, Edmonds is going to get beat. Jordan Nelson is turning upfield. And if Derek Carr has time, that's going to be a problem right there. But for the most part, it was a coverage sack. Stephon Tuitt beats this guy, trying to cut block him, and he cut block TJ Watt later in the game. He was trying to do that quite often. And we get the sack, okay? That was a bright spot for the defense. Next up, 2nd and 10 from the Oakland 41, 11 minutes and 5 seconds of the second quarter. Let's see what that play was all about. This is where it gets bad for Morgan Burnett. I'm just going to warn you guys, all right? Here it comes. Okay, there's the first one. Bad. This is a running theme that you're going to see with our secondary. Our outside defenders, whoever it is out there, we're not pressing. And I don't know if it's because we're not physical or if Butler doesn't trust them to do it. We give up the inside leverage. It's ridiculous how bad we do it. If you guys have the ability to go back and watch some of these games, it's bad. And it happened multiple times in this game. Just so happened that we played relatively good defense throughout the remainder of the game until the last drive. But look at this. This is Morgan Burnett. So they got Morgan Burnett on Cook. All right? Watch what happens here. Trail technique. Look at all this space. That's easy pitch and catch for 12 yards. All right? Now let me show you how Derek Carr, and they knew exactly what they wanted. Watch Derek Carr's eyes from snap. He's looking at Jared Cook the whole time. Look, he doesn't look for anybody else. He know he got it. That's embarrassing. To where they know they can just take advantage of a matchup. Look at this. Here, these guys was cutting all game here, trying to cut. And like I said, Stephon Tuitt was able to beat his, and that's how he got his sack. But look at this, man. Derek Carr never looked away or looked to anybody else. They knew what they had right there. All right? So the next play is going to be 2nd and 8, 9 minutes, 56 seconds left. Same drive. Take a look. Watch this guy right here, Morgan Burnett. Once again, folks, that's the same route. Let me show it to you. Only reason why it didn't work, now this time, you know, we're in the dime. No, we're in the nickel. We might be in the nickel here. Let me see. What other linebackers up? Yeah, we're in the dime because Morgan Burnett is out there. And I don't see Vince Williams. Watch this. Let me show you why this didn't work. Stephon Tuitt, okay? Stephon Tuitt killed that. But it's the same thing. Watch Derek Carr. Watch Derek Carr's eyes. I know y'all can't see him, but watch his head. He's looking at that same matchup. He know exactly where he want to go. Jared Cook. And it's open. It's wide open. Once again, why is it wide open? Inside leverage. Look, same route. Here we are in the trail technique again. And it's there again. That's about to be another 12, 15-yard game probably right there. Okay, let's keep her moving. Keep her moving. Rolling along. How about the next play? We ain't got to go far. 3rd and 8. 9:53. Morgan Burnett. Once again. Wherever Morgan Burnett is, that's where they're going. That's bad. Morgan Burnett has played ridiculously bad. Look at that. Look at that. Easy pitch and catch. In case you guys didn't see it, let me let the play start here. Boom. Morgan Burnett's right here. This time, he gets a jam. Slight jam. Y'all noticing this? I'm noticing that only our interior defenders are jamming. Outside, we're not doing it. We're playing more of a bail technique. Why? I really want to know why that is. Are we afraid? Do we not have the talent? So watch from this angle. Here's Morgan Burnett. We don't get no pressure. Got Chickalo coming. No real pressure. They blocked that up really good. And here's Jared Cook, another 12-yard gain. The Jared Cook show on this drive, man. Okay? Now let's see. What's the next play we want to show? All right. 3rd and 9. From the Oakland 15 with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. Let's find that one. Five minutes and 15 seconds right here. I think this is it. All right, let's watch this one. This is when Roethlisberger got dealt with. Wham! That was believe it or not, that was the end of the game right there. Now let's show you guys how it happened. Beautiful stunt. And Tony, hey Tony, your boy, the one you always criticize. Watch your boy Pouncey. Right in here. Look, David DeCastro ain't even had to block nobody. Look at it. Lord have mercy. Have a little mercy for Percy. Look at your boy, man. Marquise Pouncey just gets lost and doesn't feel that stunt. Look, he just gets pulled down and wham. Easy does it. Hits Roethlisberger. And that was the end of the game because I'm here to tell you, Roethlisberger was moving the ball quite efficiently against these Raiders. Even though we were unable to really run the ball, he had no problem moving the ball in the air. I think we would have been able to control more possessions had we not had the situation where Dobbs had to come in. All right, so 3rd quarter. Let's get to the 3rd quarter. And we're going to look at 2nd and 10, 12 minutes and 51 seconds in the game. Y'all got to see this. Speaking of Joshua Dobbs, you got to see this one. Yeah, Pouncey, boy. Oh, God. I'm not even going to rewind this one. We're just going to look at it from the other angle. Poor Dobbs. And listen, I told you, man, Dobbs' accuracy was questionable in Tennessee. Look at this. Juju wide open. Look at that. This is an supposed NFL quarterback. Again, I am not calling the kid a bum. He's in the NFL. I am not. He played quarterback in college. I didn't. But Dobbs, come on, man. This almost looked like that underthrow in Madden where it ain't got no realism. Look at this, man. Juju wide open. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Let me back it up for y'all again. Look at how bad he misses Juju. How you throw a crossing route that far behind your receiver? Let's go back and look at it from this angle. Juju, if you hit Juju in stride, I mean, you can even throw it early. Hit him. That's an easy first down. That's an easy first down. Hit him in stride. Hit him in stride, Dobbs. But see, he's so technical. He's got to finish out his full, his drop back. Hit him right now. What you waiting on? He just now threw it. Throws it completely behind him. Again, one more time. Dobbs, what you waiting on, bro? You ready to throw right now. Get it out. Now, if you want to let it develop a little bit, cool, but you got to lead him. That's just giving you an example of what we had to deal with Josh Dobbs. 4th and 1 on the Oakland 42. 6 minutes and 33 seconds left. Now, mind you, Oakland didn't score any points, guys, in this 3rd quarter. Our defense was holding. As much as I get on them and I'm mad at them about not being able to close the show, that's what we have to judge. The defense didn't play that bad the rest of the game. The opening drive was pretty bad. They let Oakland run right down there and score. But we played a great game for the most part. We contained Oakland for the rest of the game, which is probably the reason why, again, if it was a health concern, that's probably why Tomlin and them was saying, look, man, if we can get out of here, let's try to get out of here. Now, obviously, it wasn't working because you saw that Dobbs couldn't keep drives going. But look at this, man. Here's the beef I got right here. Good play design, okay? In Oakland, you know, Oakland read it. But here's the problem I got with Randy Fichtner. I'm not going to say that wasn't a bad call, but where was Dobbs doing most of his work in this game? Scrambling. And there was a one play where, remember, Juju caught the ball on the sideline where Dobbs did a sprint out, boom, hit Juju down the field. We needed to get him in space. I feel like in this moment, again, guys, I'm not blaming the coaches. Listen, it's easier for me to say, but I did like this play call. It just didn't work, but I would like to have seen them do something a little different, like maybe get Dobbs out on a bootleg. You know, where Dobbs could, you know, fake it this way. And he did do a play action fake. And, you know, the bootleg wasn't going to work. So I'm just saying it felt like we knew that was coming when it happened. You know, because it's basically the play that we ran to Grimble last week. So, I don't know. The Raiders was all over it, man. It's like they was ready for it. So, anyway, let's continue to move, man. And then, you know, we'll get into here. We'll get Tony on here. And then we'll answer some of your chats. 2nd and 10 from the Pittsburgh 28. And what's the time stamp? 21 seconds left in the quarter. Another turning point in the game right here. Now, mind you, Ben Roethlisberger missed 4 series, okay? Dobbs is trying to force it into AB. And, you know, it happens. It bounced off of AB's chest or whatever. But AB is ridiculously covered right there. And Dobbs doesn't have the accuracy to fit it in there. Because watch the placement of the ball. Let's look at it from this angle. Look at this, man. Joshua Dobbs ain't going to make that throw. AB is covered. AB is blanketed. And, I mean, he throws it behind AB and allows Conley to get over his back. But that, to me, is a bad decision for a guy like Dobbs. You know, you and AB ain't got that chemistry yet. And there's nobody open. I mean, let's face it. You were better off checking it down. But forced it to AB, popped it up, intercepted. All right, so now let's get down to where we can get pissed off, guys. Y'all ready? Let's go to 1st and 10, 4:38 on the clock in the 4th quarter. And I think this is it right here. This lets me believe that Roethlisberger probably was hurting a little more than we thought. He misses Juju wide open. Oh, look at that move. Look at Juju. Oh, God. That's a touchdown. Now, you know, it doesn't really hurt us that bad because we still scored. And I don't know. Maybe if we score here, let's be honest. Let me pause it. Maybe if we score here, it's 4 minutes or something on the clock, and we give it back to Oakland, and they score, we would have had more time to get back down the field and score. So in hindsight, you have to look at this and say, yeah, that was a miss, and it hurt us because, like I said, if we were going to give a touchdown up to Oakland anyway, maybe they score earlier, you know what I mean? And then we get the ball back with time on the clock. I don't know. But, Ben misses him, man. Look at the placement. Oh, Ben, you got to put that thing on the outside and let him run. Even though where Ben threw it was good, but I mean, if you just put it out here, you floated a little bit. Ben put a lot on that thing. And again, you know, his accuracy could have been affected a little bit, man, because of the injury, you know. But it is what it is. All right, so now let's take a look at 2nd and 1 from the Oakland 1 with 2 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock. Let me show you. We need to stop running slants into the teeth of the defense from this spread set. Why don't we give the ball to our running back with Rosie Nix leading the way? Why don't we do it? This was 2nd and 1. I mean, we got in, but, bro, this could have been bad. 2nd and 1. and look at the pass. How you tell me how this guy doesn't pick this off? If you are an Oakland Raider fan and you lose the game, you hot about this. Look at this. I mean, Ben, that ain't open. How does this dude not pick it off? Look at it again. That's not open. And here's the reason why Roethlisberger has thrown a lot of end zone interceptions. Yes, I said end zone and not red zone. End zone. That's a pick. That could have ended the game potentially right there. How does this boy not knock that ball down? And what concentration by Juju? 2nd and 1, put Rosie Nix in there and run the football. Okay? And if you have to pass, try to pass when you have to pass. Now y'all ready to get pissed? Are y'all ready? You ready? I ain't even going to show you the whole thing. We'll just go right here. We'll just go right here. Oh, no. No, I do got to show you one before this. Let's check out your boy Cody SimFBall. Look at this. Remember what I told y'all about leverage and how we play it. Look, once again, y'all saw that, right? Look, slow motion. Watch the inside guy, the interior DB. Why the interior DBs are the only one that's pressing? None of the outside guys are getting any type of pressing. They're just bailing. And again, you give up we're giving up the inside so bad. And again, guys, it's a guessing game when you're in the secondary. But we continue to do that. They was killing us on that all game. Again, the defense played great for the most part. But when they were having success, it was the same type of routes. Skinny post, quick slant. You know what I mean? And look, how many times did we see that that day? Derek Carr just looking to his left and finding the guy going across the middle on the drag or the skinny post, whatever you want to call it. And Sean Davis, you know, you got to be able to. Sean Davis, to me, is kind of lost here. Not Sean Davis, Terrell Edmonds. I don't think he needs to be where he is. Let me look at that one more time. Because there was already help there, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what Edmonds was doing. I'm not going to blame him. But, you know, Davis is kind of playing that side. So Edmonds could have probably been playing a little more, you know, in here. Like, read the routes. Davis has got the help over there. But it is what it is. All right, so now let me go to the big one. And this is the one that's going to piss everybody off. Morgan Burnett. My God. Watch this. Morgan Burnett literally jumps after the guy has the ball already caught. It's like he hit the triangle or the Y button too late on Madden. Watch this. Y'all see that? Let me show it to you one more time. Morgan Burnett just gets, roasted. Now watch this. He is going to jump after the ball is caught already. Talk about a delay in reaction time. My goodness. Look at this. Would you look at that? Bruh. He just straight beat him. Turn your head around and locate the ball, man. Again, I ask you, can we always blame the scheme? All right, now let's look at one more thing here. I'm going to give Morgan Burnett a little bit of credit on this play. Plays this perfectly. Let's watch him. We'll watch him in slow-mo. I'll shoot him some bail on this play. But it's easier because he doesn't have as much ground to cover. But look, he's playing rough. Boom. Getting your hand on the guy within 5 yards. Run with him. Get on his hip. Get in his back pocket. Run with him. Make the play. Superb. Superb. Can't ask for better than that. Superb. Let's look at it from the other angle. But again, he's only playing it good because it's 6 yards. You feel me? In space, he's getting killed. But down there with the 6 yards, perfect. Look at this, man. He follows him all the way across the formation. Great play. Now look at this. Look at this guy down here. You see that route? Watch 88. Watch the route that he runs. Pivot route. In and out. Remember that. Well, look at this coverage. Great coverage by Morgan Burnett. But in space, Morgan Burnett is, wow, what you call a liability. All right, now let's look at the dagger. Look at this route, man. They basically run the same thing. Outside in this time. And they fool Mike Hilton there. Mike Hilton slips, you know, and there was a lot of slippage going on out there. But come on, man. Terrible. Terrible. No real pressure. And they scored a touchdown. Now, again, I ask you guys this again. Take a chance at disrupting. Look at this. You get a why are we only jamming the inside guys? You see this? Jam, jam. Why are we letting the guys go to the outside freely? Now, I know this is not your normal, you know, this is a condensed set. You know, it's a compressed set. But still, you know, you need to come up and attack. You're defending 6 yards here. Like, where you going? Where you going? You need to be in this dude's hip pocket. Slips. But he's open even if he don't slip. Look, because it's, you know, it's a pivot route. He's open right here. But what I'm saying is, man, we know we don't have the best cover guys. So my philosophy would be, we gonna plaster them. Plaster them. We just stand in their hip the whole game. And if they beat us, they beat us. Mano a mano. Just my thoughts, man. But I want to know what you guys think, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the All 22 segment. I'll give you my quick thoughts, man, on what I think we need to do if we're going to have any chance at competing or saving the season. I'm going to bring Tony on here, and then after that, we'll definitely chop it up. I'll see what you guys have in the chat, so let me bring y'all up. I see y'all are still here. All right. In order for us to have a chance, first of all, do I think we're going to get to the playoffs? Let me be brutally honest. I don't. The eye test doesn't allow me to believe that we're going to run the table. The eye test doesn't allow me to believe that we will go 2-1 in the last 3. The eye test doesn't allow me to believe that we can beat the Patriots or Saints with their offense. Excuse me. However, I will say this. The Pittsburgh Steelers should be able to score with anybody. New England is not the juggernaut anymore. They're still good, but they're not unbeatable. Okay, we saw what the Chiefs were able to do when they played them. They went point for point, and by golly, New England outscored the Chiefs. Do I think we'll be able to score against the Patriots? I think so. I don't trust the defense, guys. I really don't. I don't know what adjustments we're going to make, even though Tomlin said we're going to have to look at employing different tactics, and that means everybody. I mean, meaning it could be different personnel. I don't know. I think the only chance we have is to do like we did in 2011, when coincidentally was when I think, yeah, Keenan Lewis and both Cortez Allen was on the team at that time, and Ike Taylor, and we just pressed them. We manned them up. I mean, we was in their face, and we beat them. I remember that game. And that was before we had an explosive offense. You're going to have to just do that. You know, employ, put a lot of man out there and just go for broke. You know, zone when you have to, zone when it's necessary, you know, if you get the right down and distance, but you're just going to have to line up and try to beat them. And get to Tom Brady. Try to get pressure up the middle, not from the outside. Don't always try to blitz from the outside because we know Brady he steps up in the pocket. We've seen Brady for the last several years and this year. Pressure up the middle is not what he likes. If you can get pressure on that boy up the middle, you got a shot. He's going to go down. He's going to give up and give you the sack just like Brett Favre did for old boy to get the, Strahan to get that last record sack. He's just going to go down. You already know that. We got to find a way to get pressure up the middle, first and foremost. And just go for it. Offensively, we got to control the clock. We got to control the ball. We got to keep the ball out of Brady's hands as much as possible. We have to find the run game. Okay? Yes, there's no Le'Veon Bell. Okay, we all understand that. But what about that run game that we had going the first 6-7 weeks with James Conner? Where's that at? I understand Jalen Samuels is not James Conner. He looks like he was a little hesitant out there running. Wasn't finding the hole as fast. I get it. But the offensive line definitely takes some of that blame too. Because, again, if you have opportunity to look at the all-22 on those run plays, the offensive line and the tight ends, I mean, some of the worst run blocking I've seen this whole season. What was that all about? And let's not act like New England don't have some dogs on their defense. Like Flowers and, you know, Hightower and these type of guys. Like, they got some dogs out there. They ain't the best, but they got dudes that get after it. And we know they're disciplined. They're going to play their position. They're going to take AB out of the game, and they're going to try to make somebody else beat you. Now, who knows? Belichick might do a different strategy. Sometimes they might take Juju away. They're going to throw everything at us, but we're going to have to find a way to possess the football, win the time of possession, run the football, and put points on that board. Try to make Brady play from behind. It's the only chance they got. Defense, in my opinion, we're not good enough to stop Brady or Breeze unless we're playing with a significant lead. So I don't have confidence that we'll do it, but we're such a Jekyll and Hyde team. The Steelers are the type of Jekyll and Hyde team that'll go out here and win the next three, right? End up 10-5-1, which a lot of us predicted about 4 weeks ago, right? And then they'll go into playoffs and get smashed. That's the kind of Jekyll and Hyde team they are. Now, it's interesting. We might still get into playoffs based just off a record. You know, even if we got to win at least, I'm thinking we got to be at least 9-6-1. Something like that. But who knows? You know, the Ravens could very well lose to the Chargers and very well lose to the Browns. And I doubt if they lose to Tampa Bay, but we'll see. But I don't want to rely on that. Man, this is the last opportunity. One would think that the fate is in their own hands. It would be this weekend, unless the Ravens lose again. You know, if they lose against Tampa, then if we both lose, it's the same situation again. But one would think that this is probably the last opportunity that you control your own fate. And I don't have faith that we'll do it. I'm going to root for them as hard as I can, but, you know, if I'm going to expect a different result, then I'm a fool. I'm just hoping that maybe something will change and something will surprise me. So those are my thoughts there. Now let me get my boy Tony up in here. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. Don't be shy. Come on, man. Hit the like button. All right, Tony, I'm coming to you, brother. I'm coming to you, my brother. All right, let's call Tony, folks.
Hey, brother.
What's up, man?
Hey, for some reason or other, I don't know why it seems like it's still ringing in my ear.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hey, but that's all right. Hey, man. Wow. That's funny how that article came out, and I was thinking about it. Never even read the article. and I brought it to you today. You know, the bottom line is this. You know, you brought it out this evening. I mean, you showed a little bit of our offensive woes, if you will. But if you notice, it's been highlighted on the defense. And I think that like the article says, we have talent issues. And with that, that's why a little bit I want, I've been hearing a lot of people say this, and I've been saying it myself about the firing of Butler. But I think if for right now, I might have to put that to bed. Although, brother, that as a coach, good coaches take what they have, in their players, and they scheme around them.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? If you look at Belichick, he just go out and get players, and then when the game, he takes their talents and put them, in the flow of the game. So whatever team that they play, they put their players, their strengths. And it seems like somehow or another, Butler doesn't do that. And if he can't do that, then that's something that, I'm kind of like puzzled about. Because is it the talent, or is he trying to, how sometimes coaches, they want to just go with their scheme. And I'm hoping that's not the case. You have to take the players that you have, and you have to put them in good positions. First of all, the players that we do have, just by looking at the list that you were talking about, I mean, it's horrible. Now this is the question that I wanted to ask, and I don't know what Kenyon think about this. Do you think that the linebackers that we have outside of Bostic are really special team guys? I mean, we did draft, my boy Vince Williams in the 6th round, and I'm looking at like Bostic was drafted from another team, so they brought him in. Maybe he doesn't fit the scheme or whatever like that. But do you think that other than T.J. Watt, do you think that maybe Bud Dupree is a backup? Maybe some of these players, because really when you look at it, T.J. Watt and what's his name, Cam Hayward, they show up every week in and week out. They show up every week in and week out. I mean, sometimes they have their time. You look at Stephon Tuitt. I mean, some of these guys, you see them on a milk cart. I mean, sometimes, they missing. They showing up. You know how you look in the paper, where am I on the milk carton? I mean, come on. I mean, Watt and Hayward, they show up sometimes. These other guys, they show up 1 minute and they show up another minute. But I was thinking about, one game and then they show up another game. But I really wanted to ask you that. Do you think that our linebackers, that goes back to what I was saying, scheme, maybe they are what they are, and the talent pool that we have on our team is not there? Because that's the only thing that I can just really think of, because it's like, if you look at it, Burnett, we say, okay, Burnett is not there, this is why this tight end is doing this, and then when Burnett get in there, he still get burnt. And sometimes, you think about it, okay, so now we're going to have Gronk, the Saints got a few tight ends, so those are the type of things that I was just thinking about. Also, Fitner is going to have to do a better job next year. Yeah. This is the NFL. It has to be better. And then remember, Butler, go back on Butler for a second. Remember, he was pushing to say, if you don't get rid of Dick LeBeau, I'm going to another team. So now you're going to have to, you're going to have to do a better job of scheming, because it just seems like it's not working. Or It's the talent pool that we have. But if it's the talent pool that we have, then you're gonna have to take the players that you have and put them in better positions. So, that's that. But I guess that's all I wanted to, sort of bring out. I mean, our defense is horrible, and we already know that. We know that our defense is horrible, but we're gonna have to become better. This is why I told you today that next year there's going to be some changes. There's going to have to be some changes. I mean, there might have to be some position coaches changing, changes, but it can't continue to be like this. And here's another thing. How close are we to what we said that our team was record-wise? 'Cause we said either 6-10 or 7-9. Didn't we say that?
Yep.
We could possibly, because there's no way in Hades that we're going to beat New England. I don't see it right now. I don't see us beating the Saints. And let me hit you with something else. I don't even see us beating Cincinnati the last game. We might mess around going a 6-game losing streak.
Man,
We might go on a 6-game losing streak. Now I'm getting tired of people keep talking about Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, people don't understand this. This guy has a winning record. I don't know how many times we can say this. We say this time and time again every week. The coach has never had a losing season. Never had a losing season. Never had a losing season. In the playoffs, I mean, basically every year we're in the playoffs. He's not what he does is he manages the team. I mean, allow his position coaches and everyone, his coordinators to manage. He manages the team and he allows them to do their thing. Now, he might have to step in at times, like you said, on defense. And he has to do a better job where he might have to, if he has a gut on something, he might have to take over the play calling. And you can't worry about hurt feelings. If it's not working, you're going to have to deal with it. This is the NFL. And I mean, right now what we're seeing is almost like unprecedented almost. I mean, I probably haven't seen it in probably almost, I mean, we losing the teams we shouldn't be losing. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen this type of shenanigans. I mean, never almost. I've been a Steelers fan since I was like 8 years old, and I ain't never seen nothing like this. But I didn't want to take up all your time, man. It's just,
oh man, you good.
I'm just looking at the talent issues, that we have, and you that article was perfect, bringing out all of the woes of the Steelers and how our draft has gone, and it made me think of some of the players that we have allowed past us in the draft. I mean, of course, offensively, you look at Tyreek Hill, 4th round. I mean, you look at that dude Tariq Cohen, probably like the 4th round. And I know those are positions that we probably didn't really need at the time. Let's look at your boy in San Francisco. Me and you've been talking about tight ends all this time. Look at the boy in San Francisco. The guy is a lotto stud. He's a lotto stud right there. That guy, what's his name? Kittles. And remember Dave was talking about him. Kittles is balling right now. The other day he had most of the offense. He had 210 receiving yards. And we have to go out and give up draft picks for McDonald.
Oh, hold on, Tony. You know what? We got to call out our father-in-law real quick.
Okay.
He writes in here, he says, Kenyon, when is the last time we went to the Super Bowl and the last time we made it out of the first round and even to the championship game? Was we not in the championship game, 2 years ago?
Yeah, we was.
What you talking about?
We got slapped around by New England.
I mean, I get it, the Super Bowl, yes. But what are you talking about? We was
Yeah.
just in the honestly, the championship game is the reason why all of us feel the way we do now about the defense.
Right. That's exactly right.
If you want to
And
be honest.
yeah, and it scares me to even want to. I don't know about you, and I know a lot of fans want to. I don't know if it's like you want to just have that on your resume that every year we go to the playoffs. So that's on your resume. I don't want to just keep going to the playoffs all the time and lose. And for those that are Tomlin haters, look at Bill Cowher. How many times he went to the AFC Championship game? He lost to the Patriots a couple of times. He lost to Denver. He lost to San Diego. I was there. My heart being ripped out of my chest. I know, getting ready to cry. I don't know about you guys, but it's like you feel like you want to cry. You feel like you don't want to talk to nobody. You don't even want to look at, you don't want to look at ESPN. You just want you just want to go out. You know what I'm saying? You just want to go out in the rain, man, and cry almost, man. And it's like you just want to go out there and cry, man, when your team lose, man. You tired of getting to that place and win. I don't want second place. I want to go in that thing and win. And our defense, as much as we want them to go to the Super Bowl, but how realistically, with the team that we have, how realistically are we going to win a championship game? Because you're gonna have to see the New England Patriots. You're gonna have to see, you know, Tyreek Hill in them, with Mahomes. Okay, so let's just say that we get past those guys. Those guys are sorry defensively. And let's say you get to the Super Bowl. Did anybody see the Chicago Bears the other night? Did anybody see Minnesota and the Rams the other night? Do you want to see those guys in the Super Bowl? And knowing that both of them have pretty good offenses? Okay. And you're going to get embarrassed. So I don't want to see that thing again where we get in there and then we lose. I'm just tired of us just going through that. We're going to have to do better. We're going to have to do better to, with our talent. It just can't be the same, man. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we were. Yeah, and Ryan Clark had that what you call that, with that blood issue. Yes, and he didn't play that. Yeah, right. Yep. That's right. That's right.
Oh, my bad. They all said I was muted. All right,
You might
so
have to say that again.
I got to say this whole thing again. My bad, y'all. I appreciate that because I try to mute when I'm typing so y'all don't hear all the clickety clack clack. So let's do it again. So what I said to Tony is, I said we got to get on that father-in-law really quick. For you guys that don't know, Leonard in here is our father-in-law. On both sides of this family, whatever, and that's how me and Tony always call ourselves brothers, which we are. So there you go. So we got to get on Leonard really quick because Leonard said that we went and lost in the first round to Tebow. Okay, I'll give you that. But we were a very subpar team that year. We snuck into the playoffs. It was like 8-8 or something like that. We weren't supposed to be there anyway. We sitting there waiting for teams to lose for us to get in. But let's not act like the Steelers have lost in the first round every year. every year? Every year? No, it's not the case.
Right.
We went to Arrowhead and beat Kansas City to get
Yep.
to New England. We got smacked by New England. And like I
Yep.
said, that's the reason why we're all upset, is because we saw how exposed our defense was and has been since then. Last year, okay, we did the divisional round, which technically wasn't the first round. Ben Roethlisberger performs. Hey, Martavis Bryant gets a touchdown. Antonio Brown gets a touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, an amazing catch against Tevin Smith. Balling. But what happens? Defense lets us down again. Sack fumble. Return for a touchdown. I think Ben might have threw a pick in that game. I can't quite remember. But that's how we got here. But what all I'm saying is, my point is, we can't act like that we lose every year in the first round. And we can't be result driven all the time. Like, as soon as you lose and everybody needs to go, everybody sucks. Come on, man. At least be fair with our criticism. That's all we're saying.
Yeah. I would say this is that when we come up, when I come up, and we have to watch that Saints game, I'm just asking that you tell the wife to put the locks on the medicine cabinets, because that's not gonna be pretty on that game.
Yeah,
because that's not gonna be something that we gonna want to watch, man. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be pretty unless they can do something drastically to change that game. I mean, it's not gonna be pretty the next it's not gonna be pretty the next two games, and you are exactly right. I mean, we can't be so driven. We're getting, the man is getting us to the playoffs, and that's all we can ask. We need better talent. I mean, everybody wants the man fired every year. Everyone wants to fire. Who would better come in to take this team and do what he's doing right now with what we have? I mean,
oh, somebody just said we should have paid James Harrison.
Oh, no, they didn't say that.
Oh, they said.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Y'all remember seeing James? Okay, here you go. Here's exactly what we mean. We definitely got to make changes, because it was times when we had James Harrison in coverage, just like we've seen just here tonight in the stream. We saw times when it was Bud Dupree and TJ Watt in coverage. Now, do y'all remember what James Harrison looked like in pass coverage? Just stop, man. Come on. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta be kidding me right now. Oh, man.
Yeah, man. That's what we have to deal with sometimes, man. I mean, bottom line, I mean, maybe this can be a start of us becoming better this next draft, because we're going to be 7 and something. I mean, if we can for miraculously we can go on a couple of games winning streak, or somehow another, the Baltimore Ravens. I want to tell everyone this: the Baltimore Ravens or the Cleveland Browns, they possibly can take the AFC North if we're not careful. Because all Cleveland has to do is win the next 3 games. And the Ravens, they play Cleveland Browns. And if we keep losing, it could possibly be the Cleveland Browns representing the AFC North.
With Baker Mayfield.
Now, what like world would that be? I mean, that's something that I don't think happened only in the 80s or something, when Marty Schottenheimer took them to the playoffs and they lost to Denver and John Elway. I mean, Cleveland, that's like crazy. But they have a defense and they have an offense, and over the course of time, they built from the draft because of all those first round picks that they had over the course of time. A lot of these teams, like you said before, like Jacksonville, you talk about Cleveland, the Rams, the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, they had a lot of down years, and they just racked up picks. You look at the Cowboys. You know, they racked up picks, got their offensive line together, and you look at the 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 Cowboys secondary. The Cowboys secondary is pretty okay. They have a front seven.
Yeah,
The
that front
front,
seven.
that pressure. We need pressure. Like me and Kenyon was talking on the chat. We definitely need pressure because if you look at it, I mean, don't it seem like soon as like the soon as our linebackers like I'm just gonna put his name out there, Dud
Dud.
Dupree. It's it's like as soon as he looks like he's trying to push the guy back, the ball is gone. That shows you that there's no pressure. And can we get pressure up the middle?
Mm.
Can our boy Jay Wobble do that? Can our linebackers bring that kind of pressure? No, they're going to be out in a zone, and Tom Brady is going to eat that zone up. So we better figure out what we're going to do. Maybe Dan McCullers, I don't know, overnight. I don't know. We're going to have to bring some pressure up the middle and get him off because if not, we're gonna die a slow death.
Hmm. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. And I ain't even realized we've been on so long. We
Yeah.
already what we at an hour and 26 minutes. Good lord.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry about the doom and gloom, brother, but this is that day. The day is that day, and you've called it for a while, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Uh, Before we get out of here, man, you got any last words for the people?
Well, still a nation. Only thing I'm gonna say is that like another brother that came on the last time I forgot on Sunday, he came on, I think, and we it looks like we probably will have some more down years. I think our offense are doing well, but as you can see, Ben Roethlisberger is getting a little older and he's getting hurt a little bit more sometimes. And we have to be, I mean, he's he hasn't been hurt like he used to be hurt because, our offensive line, but he's going to get older sooner or later. One of those guys gonna have to they're gonna have to take over, and so we might as well get used to it. We might as well get used to some 6 and 10s and 7 and 9s, brother. So
Oh
that's all I
man.
have to say right there, man. We just have to hope that we can do it, man. We can somehow or another miraculously before Ben retire, we get another chip, man.
Mm. Well, all right, man. We'll be
All right,
talking.
brother.
And we'll talk definitely before the game. And yeah, I think, man, I'm gonna reach out to Kenyon. I think we need to do a group chat while the game on. Three of that should be fun. But yeah, man, I'll definitely be hollering at you later, man.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right, talk to you.
All right, guys, that was that good brother Tony, man. Again, it seems like for some reason on Terrible Tale Tuesday, you guys don't always ask to call in. So, I'm always gonna allow whoever calls in extended amount of time to be a part of the show. But typically, if you want to call in, man, I just need you to have a Skype account. I know, I'm getting new, and more and more viewers that are new that might not know. I use Skype. That's the easiest way for me to funnel it through the stream. So if you want to come on, you want to call, typically what I do is I hope that there's a lot of calls and I give everyone a 2 to 3 minute limit and I bring you on, boom, boom, bing, and we out of here. All right, but I also, going forward, maybe in the off season, man, I might want to start doing more panels, having 2 or 3 or 4 of you guys on at one time and we chop it up about things. So we'll try to make it a little more interesting. So right now, what I'm going to do, man, is look in the chat and see what you guys got. Maybe spend another 3-4 minutes or whatever. And see what you guys got. So fire your way, because I'm actually looking at the chat window right now. Real Fact says, good insight from Tony. Yeah, man. I like to get guys like Tony and Kenyon on, man, so y'all can hear. I like for other people to share their perspectives, and I'm waiting for those to call in that totally disagree so we can all listen, and have dialogue and hear what they have to say. Eli says Kenyon is rated the 26th linebacker according to PFF. Okay. Big Dro said let's sign Ronald Darby in the offseason. Okay. Alex Black says we don't gamble during the draft nor during the season. Don't like to give up a pick. Well, y'all know the Steeler way. But I'll be the first one to say that the Steelers, I think I said this on Sunday. The Steelers are going to have to, organization-wise, the brass, Rooney and Kevin Colbert, they're going to have to do some things a little differently, man. Today's NFL is not what it used to be. We can't keep harping on it's the Steeler way, which we all understand. You've heard me say it many times, and I don't expect them to do things, but I think it's time to at least bend a little bit. At least get a B-plus level guy. If you're not going to go after the A list or the top free agent, at least get that solidified guy, because we're not going to be able to plug all the holes in the draft. It's just not going to happen. Let's see. Kenya says scroll back up. All right, Kenya, let me see. Let me see where you want me to be. Scroll back up. Scroll back up. I don't know which one you want me to read. I may have missed it. Treginald Jones says our defense has a boatload of problems, but check this out. If the DBs can clean up the cushion they're given and get 21 to play for the ball instead of tackle, I think we'll be okay. Now, Treginald Jones, man, I'm going to give you a round of applause. And again, I'm going to ask you guys, can y'all please confirm that you're hearing it? I think you guys are hearing it, but please confirm that you're hearing it, because I'm triggering it a different way. So I want to make sure it's coming through the stream. I can't hear it, but it looks like it's playing through the stream. But I'm going to give you a round of applause, because like I showed in some of the footage tonight, if you were here for the early segment, man, it's like we just continue to play trail techniques. All of the outside DBs are up in your guys' face, and then they bail. It's no jam. It's no reroute. And all day we were giving that inside, any inside route they wanted to run, Oakland meaning, they were able to do it. And like I said, we kept the lid on it for the most part. They didn't score again until the last drive, but we were giving up everything inside. Okay, y'all can hear it loud and clear. Great. I appreciate that, you guys saying that. Eli says it's free agency. The more I think AB is the Steeler goes after athletes and not just good football players. Yeah, it did pan out with Shazier, but who else? Bud and Artie were both freak athletes. Yeah, man, the Steelers go after them spark scores. They really love the spark scores, man. Real Fact says, watch we beat the Patriots and Saints and then end up losing to the Bengals and miss the playoffs. Ain't that the Steelers? That's that Jekyll and Hyde team that we have, man. Let me see what else y'all got. Throw some more comments, man. I'm going to stay here on for about 2 more minutes. Draft good football players. I can't disagree with that. Boy, man, look at how Leighton Vander Esch has panned out. And I know we couldn't get him, obviously, because, the Cowboys snagged him. But it's no secret now, and I think even Colbert and them said as much, is Vander Esch and Rashaan Evans were the guys that, if they were there, we would have went that route. But, man, I wish the way Vander Esch is balling, yikes. Tony says, somebody donated earlier to the show when you were doing the film session. Oh, man, I missed it. If you're still here, please let me know who you were so I could give you your round of applause and we can give you your just due. But either way, I super appreciate the donation. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. Y'all might think I'm crazy by me saying this. I ain't too much worried about Gronk for some reason. Gronk is not, he is still good, but he's not what he was. I think if we can body him up a little bit, and I know that sounds crazy to say that, but I think we can slow him down a little bit if we get in his face. You know, he's fighting through injury. You know what I'm saying? He can't run as much. You know, even though he's always open. I think we should be able to play him a little better. I'm more concerned with Josh Gordon and Edelman at this point. Not saying that Grunk won't be a factor, and he still bothers me, but I'm saying I think we might be able to bracket him a little better in terms of coverage, but I'm afraid of Gordon and Edelman in this game. Gotta be physical with him, man. Alexis Black says, what happened to the hard-nosed football? Yeah, man. We all want to know that. Austin says, should we try drafting Amani Arroyo, cornerback from Penn State? I'm not too familiar with him. Dual Threat Gamer says, trade up our first round and sixth round for a higher first round. I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't want to do that unless the Steelers are very active and very aggressive in free agency. I want every single draft pick we have. I don't want to, no. I don't want to get in a situation like we were in this year where we didn't have that many picks. And, nah, got to be careful with that. James Logan says, are you a lifelong Steelers fan? I absolutely am. I've been a Steelers fan since I was a little boy. Ironically, I didn't grow up in Pennsylvania. I now live in Pennsylvania and been here for quite some time. So, of course, this is home. But ironically, you know, I played football when I was a kid. You know, I have a Steelers jersey, you know, from from a youth. You know, my cousin Floyd, you know, who might be in here tonight. Let me see if he's in here. I don't see him tonight, but he'll probably see the replay. My cousin Floyd is like my older brother. Was a Steeler fan, and I just, you know, once I had that jersey on as a super small kid, if I can find the picture, I'm gonna post it one time and show y'all here in the chat, in the stream, me with a Steeler jersey on at like 4 years old, and it just stuck. I saw him on TV, and that was it. I've been a Steeler fan ever since. But all right, man, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. This was a super long Terrible Towel Tuesday. You guys be running me crazy, man, but I love it. I love sitting here talking Steelers with you guys. It's been an hour and 37 minutes. Please apologize to your wives and your girlfriends and your kids if I kept y'all away from them, because we're keeping each other away from family. But this is our extended family, Steeler fans. So I'm going to get out of here, man. I might do a special show. I've been thinking about adding a third segment later in the week, which would basically just be like a pregame warm-up, if you will. We kind of talk about some last-minute things, what we need to do. Maybe. We'll see. I won't promise it, but I've been thinking about doing that. And obviously, there's not a lot of the season left now, but we'll see how that goes. So I might be back later. If not, you guys know I'll be doing the post-game show following the Patriots. When I shall say. Nah, I'm not expecting it. If we do, we do, but whatever. But other than that, man, love you guys. Love everything you guys do. I appreciate y'all coming through. Just do me a favor. Hit the like button. Please share the stream. Tell your other Steeler friends about it. Let's get this thing as big as possible. Subscribe if you haven't. And ring that bell. Cut on your notifications so you know when the next videos are available. All right, outside of that, peace and love. And thank you guys for tuning in to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. Here we go, Steelers. Catch y'all later. Peace.